Oh my god! Welcome back everyone to the Sim Racing Time Machine in Automobilista 2, and we're here for a new season of classic Formula 1 racing. And this might come as some sort of a déjà vu for some of you out there. Well, we're back in 1991, and although we have done this season on the channel already, a lot of things have changed since then. For one, Razer Studios has released a few more period correct tracks of that era in the last year, so we can now more accurately recreate this season. The first example will be today's races. We're going to be racing at Brazil on the 1991 version of the Autodromo José Carlos Pache in Interlagos. Now, next to these new additions track-wise, there are also new teams competing as the Emergent Modding Group has updated their skin pack. Now, a bit of background here. In 1991, there were more cars competing in F1 as the 26 that were allowed to start a race. So with this new version of the AMS2 skin pack, we actually have the opportunity to reflect the cars entering each Grand Prix, as the cars who didn't qualify for some of the rounds are still part of the skin pack. For example, today we will see both of the Scuderia Italia, also referred to as the Lara cars, on the grid. They may look a lot like a Ferrari, but trust me, they are not. Even though Prost referred to the Ferrari that year as a truck, which got him fired subsequently, he still probably was lucky he did not have to drive that thing. Well, anyway, they will race instead of the Footworks here today that didn't make the grid for this race, but we may see them and the Lamborghini and Farm Metal teams later this season, as well as the correct driver changes that took place during that year. Now lastly, there is one thing that I myself will do differently this year, and this is that, well, I will stick with one driver for all of the season, and as you can see, and even read here, this will be Pierluigi Martini in the Ferrari. No, not the Ferrari, most definitely not the Ferrari, in the Minardi of course, which had a Ferrari engine in that year. And 1991 was actually the most successful year of Minardi. Martini, also known as Mr. Minardi because he took half of the team's points in their entire Formula 1 history, which is quite a lengthy one actually. And most of these points actually came in 1991. As I said, this was probably the most successful or the best car that Minardi has ever entered into Formula 1, and Martini actually managed to finish fourth twice, coming just short of the podium. He also finished that season 11th in the driver standings, the highest a Minardi driver has ever managed. And you know what? I will set myself a target as well this year, which is go one better than Pierluigi Martini in two senses, of course. One, I want to finish the Drivers' Championship in the top 10 with Pierluigi Martini, as well as manage what Minardi could never do in their entire Formula 1 history: finish on the podium at least once this year. I think it is a tough ask, but it may be possible because, you know, reliability is a factor in 1991 that also helped Martini, of course, in those successful races that he had. But I think we may have a chance to do that, and I want to actually have a goal that is not too easy to reach, so I will try to do that this year. Now, another thing that will be making a comeback compared to the 2011 season, which I did previously in Automobilista 2 in this series, I will bring back virtual reality, so most of the commentary will be a voiceover because it's hard to talk during playing in VR, and a bit awkward because you don't feel really like you're recording, and sometimes you forget because you're also immersed. And I just think virtual reality is one of these huge strengths of Automobilista 2, and it would be criminal to leave that out and to not benefit from that. It's just such a great sensation, especially in those open wheel cars. So yeah, I wanted to bring that back, and I am very glad to do so in this season. As always, I will do 50% races, which means we'll race 36 laps here at Interlagos today. And also one new thing that you will see in a second is the starting grid. Well, On the first page you won't see that thing, you'll actually see that is a McLaren Honda front row lockout Berger starting ahead of Senna. Now on page 2 you will actually see Pierluigi Martini as whom I will drive, and what is new also this year is that we will actually start the races where Martini started them. So this race will be starting from P20, don't worry, it will get better this year as well. Martini had a few very good starting positions. This may also be the races where we have a chance to finish on the podium. Today we're just going to aim for a strong start, make up some spots, and then, well, let's just see where we end up, shall we? So now, without further ado, let's start the season opener at Brazil. Well, here we are on the grid for the Brazilian Grand Prix. In the top right you see me with the VR headset. That looks a bit weird, I must say, but well, need to get used to it. Oh, and it's a very good getaway actually. We are already up to 18th. Now we have the Ligier of, I think that was Eric Comas late on the brakes. We're already alongside our teammate, 14th. Yeah, I think we'll drop down entering what is now what days the Sennaers, or exiting the Sennaers rather. We had a bit of a moment there, back in 16th, and behind Eric Comas again. Into the Ciudad del Lago we go for the very first time, and I must admit it took me a bit to get used to driving in virtual reality again, so it is a bit of a cautious first lap. I think it would have been possible to make up a few more places, but let's just try and settle in. It was a good start, I don't know why am I complaining, because we made up 4 spots. Oh, getting very close to the left rear wheel of that Ligier, braking past into that corner that I don't know the name of, and we're up to 15th. The next car up the road already is our teammate Gianni Morbidelli. No, actually it isn't, sorry, I got that wrong. That car is actually Satoru Nakajima in the Tyrrell Honda. And you will see something very interesting. Look at that, the Ferrari in the back of our car is much quicker than that Honda, and we are already past entering turn 1, and now the car ahead of us is actually a Gianni Morbidelli. And well, I will try now to stick with them and see if I can make it past somewhere. And that proved a bit harder than I suspected, because I was finding out that car, especially the rear, is very unstable, both under braking and under acceleration, which you are just able to see there. And then it is Satoru Nakajima passing us once again. That should not be much of an issue. Because, you know, we have seen our straight line speed compared to that of the Tyrrell. Beautiful Tyrrell livery. I think this may even be one of my favorite Tyrrell liveries there in 1991. Past Nakajima we go. That was quite surprising. But yeah, now once again let's try and get close to Gianni Morbidelli once more. Well, and you can see I am now close to Gianni Morbidelli, but then... Oh, whoa. It's a bit unstable, this thing. Yeah, it may be, but that was all on me. Stop blaming it on the car, dude. Just drive, for heaven's sake. Well, we are now very close to Morbidelli, and now I am trying to get on the power very early. Oh my word. The throttle is so sensitive, it's crazy. And you can see that didn't work so well. Well, and after these 2 moments, desperation was already kicking in, though completely unjustified. Come on, Gianni, please. It's obvious I can go faster, come on. Move over. We're losing to that Tyrrell, come on. Gee. Dude. We're supposed to be friends. Yeah, I don't think Gianni wants to be friends with someone that is already asking for team orders in race 1. lap 6 for P13. But anyway, we were past now and in pursuit of the Tyrrell of Stefano Modena, which is the next car just up the road there. Oh wow, we have so much more power than the Tyrrell. So that should be straightforward, hopefully. Famous last words. So, we're now in pursuit of Stefano Modena properly, putting some pressure on, as we were able to see and wisely noticed by me. We are faster in a straight line. And we've seen that already with Satoru Nakajima, who we overtook for the second time at this corner. We're not close enough yet to Modena, but as soon as we will come out of the final proper corner, which is this one here, we should have a good chance on the very long start-finish straight, which, well, is not really beginning here, but already the run towards it. This counts as a corner as well here. And look at the time that we're gaining on Modena on a straight, already passed, far ahead of the braking zone, and up into 12th. No. Well, that was almost a big moment, but we managed to keep it on the track, and now we are just behind Emanuele Pirro in the Dallara and Roberto Moreno in the Benetton. And we are now closer to these two. And once again, you can see I am gaining on the Benetton as well. That Ferrari engine that we have there is super powerful. We are not yet close enough to make a move. And one thing that I have noticed while trailing behind these two is that Roberto Moreno in the Benetton could probably go a lot quicker than Pirro just ahead of him. But the issue is, Pirro is quicker in a straight line. Look here, Moreno is losing a couple of car lengths on the Retro Posta. I almost get my car alongside, or I did get it alongside for a very brief moment there. Not enough to make a move though. But yeah, Moreno has no chance on the two main overtaking zones of this track, which now means he is stuck behind Pirro in this technical part of the track. I almost make it alongside. Now this is Pirro being incredibly slow. We can go quicker than both of them. Well, than Pirro definitely. We don't know how quick Moreno can go once he is released, but he is stuck there for quite some time now. Yeah, we lost a bit there in that final sector. But now, once again, this should be where we gain compared to the Benetton. Oh, we are very far away this time. But we're getting closer. And maybe there is an opportunity on the Retro Posta. Quick on the power, didn't quite work. Well, we're able to see that I had to do a little correction on the steering wheel once again there. The car's still very twitchy on the throttle, on the brakes. Once again, this time we are even further alongside Moreno, but he has, well, he can brake later on the outside, and it is a bit of a difficult move, sticking one up the inside of the Cida del Lago. You need to be fully ahead, or you just need to be Max Verstappen running everyone out of road, but back in those days, there is still grass there, so you can't do a Verstappen pushover move that he did famously against Lewis Hamilton in 2021. But now, Moreno was kind of missing the apex there, trying an alternate line, which makes it possible for us to go alongside him, and now into the final proper braking zone of this track. We squeeze him. Yes, that should be it. Come on. Oh gee, I'm relieved I'm past. That was a tough one. It was. Let's see how this Dallara is. He's quicker in a straight line than the Benetton. That's for certain. Yeah, look at it. We don't gain as easily as against Moreno. Well, that is my in-cockpit analysis, and there's not much I can disagree with. We'll now see how much quicker we can go in this infield section here. This is where the Dallara is really struggling. That Judd engine seems not to be that bad, at least on the straights. Yeah, and we're really losing time behind him. We are able to go a lot quicker through these corners, but then I'm struggling a lot here at Yunsao. And then we are way too far back. We're still gaining, not as much as against Moreno, but oh, there might be an opportunity here. Damn it. Oh, for heaven's sake, that was stupid. Very, very stupid. Oh, and look at the front left, that was very, very stupid. Yeah, once again, can't disagree with that. It was stupid, way too desperate into turn one. And, well, now there is another issue. There are no mandatory pit stops in 1991, and Automobilista's AI will definitely try to make it without a pit stop. They will not pit until absolutely necessary. So the issue now is that I don't think we can make it without a pit stop. We will definitely need to come in at least once and change tires, because I can't make it with that front left. It's still feeling okay right now. We are not losing too much time. As you can see, I'm still sticking with Moreno there, but we really need to nurse it now, as I'm trying to extend that stint as far as possible to not get held up in traffic, because the cars behind us, they are very slow. The speed differential is huge, just as in this moment where we once again into the Sennas, we pass Moreno and are back up to 11th. So maybe we can still somewhat fight with these tires until we have to pit closer to the end of this race. Or at least that is the plan. Oh, dang. Oh, gee. What is that? That is Jean Alesi having spun round in turn one. We'll see a replay of that in a moment. But yeah, that now definitely is it. We have to pit at the end of this lap. The front left is completely dead. Once again, locking up into turn one. We have a huge flat spot there. And yeah, also taken through the grass, as I got a bit distracted there by the stranded Ferrari, and there's a stranded McLaren as well, so the top drivers now dropping out of it. We move up to 10th momentarily. Now there is our teammate Gianni Morbidelli just behind, so we let him by as we crawl back into the pit lane here. So now, and as promised, this is the replay of what happened to Jean Alesi. He's in a battle with his teammate Alain Prost. Prost trying to make a move into turn one. Oh, but he makes contact with his teammate, spins Alesi round. Prost continues, but Alesi is now stuck there on the inside curb. He continued for a couple of laps until he retired as a consequence of that incident. Now here's what happened to Gerhard Berger. Oh, he gets two wheels on the grass, so he did it all on his own. Now, in contrast to Alesi, Berger continued, but after this moment his pace was also a lot slower than before that spin, so maybe also some technical issue on Berger's side there. Well, and now, back to our race that is also falling apart. Not as much as Alesi's race, certainly, but yeah, we have to pit for fresh tires. We can't fix the skill issue we had in the pits, so that's all on me. And we go out of the pits again, And we are not last, 22nd still, but we are a lap down. But this is also a positive thing about 1991, or in general Formula 1 in that era. The field spread was very large, so even with that kind of pit stop, oh, there is some smoke, so someone as well having a technical issue. This is also something that can still help us. Reliability not that great, so not uncommon to have 10 or more retirements per race in these days. So yeah, so there's still something to fight for thanks to the huge field spread. Not uncommon, as I said, to lose 10 cars or more per race. And of course, yeah, not uncommon for some of those cars that we are about to reach now to finish multiple laps down. The first of those cars is Julian Bailey in the Lotus. Now, 1991 Lotus was already hugely on the decline, as you can see, fighting at the very, very lower end of the grid. Bailey started that season. He will later be replaced, but yeah, we'll see that as I try to find a way past Bailey. Getting a bit distracted by that huge train of cars there. Oh my god! That was extremely scary. Oh, for heaven's sake, what is that? Whoa. I think that is Mark Blundell being a complete pain for that Williams there. Blue flags, yeah. I don't think I can do anything about that right now. Oh. I think we're past that La Route. Indeed, we are. So, big moment there for Julian Bailey. Bit of chaos with those back markers trying to let that Williams through that just left us when we exited the pit lane. Careful into turn 1, almost locking the fronts. Again, getting very close to the back of the Brabham of Martin Brundle, which is the next car up ahead. And once again, the Ferrari proving much more powerful than the Yamaha engine. But we don't make it past yet, so either we kind of force our way through on the technical part of the track, or we have to wait until the end of that lap to make a move on the pit straight. Oh yes. Oh no. Yeah, you can really see the grip there now playing to our advantage with the fresh set of rubber that we've put on in the pits as we just breeze past Martin Brundle there on the technical part. Unusual for any move to happen there. The car's still unstable on the throttle. I need to be reminded every now and then. Still, I've kept it out of the wall. As we're now in pursuit of the Ligier of Eric Comas. Not as easy to get past compared to some of the other cars that we've battled with earlier. Surprisingly, the Lamborghini engine there being a bit more powerful than some of the others that we've seen. So we need to get a bit more creative with Eric Comas. Why don't we jump ahead in time a bit? Still unchanged behind Eric Comas. We're getting a few blue flags every now and then, but the car behind is still a few lengths back, and I think also behind some other traffic, so we can still focus on our battle with the Ligier. We're getting close, but not close enough to make a move. Also, of course, I'm not really that confident on the brakes into turn 1 anymore. I don't want to spot the tires again, because that has kind of destroyed our race. But still, here, look at the grip advantage that we have. Past Comas we go, and up into P18. The next car now is Marc Blondel. And Blondel is faster than the Ligier. He got away of him, but yeah, still not faster than we are. This should be an easier overtake this time again, as I was already able to notice that the Brabham, also a team on their decline, once great team that is diminished to a backmark in 1991. Their penultimate season in Formula 1 racing, actually. Well, their car not really that great in the corners, not great on the straight either, so yeah, kind of easy work against Marc Blondel, and up to P16. Oh, what's that? Oh, that's a Dallara. Oh, there are some issues for some guys there. Next car is a McLaren. Is that one? Is it on the same lap? Indeed, that McLaren is on the same lap, because that is Gerhard Berger, who suffered from that spin earlier. Also now, a few cars have already retired from this race, so we are up to 15th. Only 23 cars still running. And we are behind the McLaren Honda. Still, it's only for P14, but we're competing with a McLaren. But our joy should not last long, because on the start-finish straight there was a distraction waiting for us. And it would be kind of a faithful distraction. Oh, for crying out loud. Nah, man. Yeah, I still don't know quite what happened there. I think I got distracted by the stranded Dallara on the pit straight, then almost spun into the corner, tried to correct it, went over the grass, spun the rear wheels on the grass, which kind of turned my car right and straight into the course of that wall. Oh, that was so stupid. Yeah, it was. It would have been better to just let the car spin. Yeah. That too. And it was still not over. And if... Jesus, what the hell? Oh, that was my wheel! Oh my god, crying out loud. Yeah, well... That was it then. We retired from this race. That was a shocker, that race. Yeah, spot on analysis there. So we retire, ultimately classified in 23rd, but the race was still not over. We're now joining live. Just 3 laps to go, including this one. And the Jordans in their very first race are running in 4th and 5th. That would be an incredible finish, and the race is still not over. Now, we are watching Riccardo Patrese in the Williams trailing Ayrton Senna, and look at that. There is some smoke coming out of the back of that Williams. Could it be that Jordan finished on the podium in their debut? I think it does. Yeah, Riccardo Patrese comes into the pits, and he comes into the pits to retire, promoting Bertrand Gachot into 3rd. And this is also how this race ultimately ended. Mansell wins ahead of Senna, Bertrand Gachot finishes 3rd ahead of the Cesaris, Piquet and Prost snatches the final point for Ferrari. The Drivers' Championship, of course, exactly the same as today's race result, seeing as this was the race opener. But the Constructors' Championship, although it is only momentarily, looks very, very exciting. Williams lead, of course, with Mansell winning this race, but Jordan, after their debut, is in 2nd on 7 points, the only team that managed a double points finish. Then it is McLaren, Benetton and Ferrari. Dallara Judd currently classified in 6th because Emanuele Pirro finished this race in 7th, which is all the more frustrating for us because we were just battling with Emanuele Pirro until our lockup that kind of made our race fall apart. So that is a big, big shame because that P7 could very well have been us. But anyway, it was a lot of fun to be back in those cars. I love this mod, I love this season, I love this track, and other tracks that will be following in this season. So definitely subscribe to not miss anything. Leave a like if you did enjoy this video, and I hope to see you all the next time when we'll be racing at Imola for the San Marino Grand Prix. I hope to see you all there, and until then, goodbye.